time for our final storyteller of the night. This is our last featured storyteller. What that also means is that there were precisely 2 storytellers left in the hat. So both Dave Kay and Allison Sivak, you will be golden ticket storytellers next show. So you are invited back to tell your story next month, and you're guaranteed to tell your story. Our last featured storyteller is a lovely person. He is a professor of, what do you teach, John? Geography and environmental sciences at American River College in Sacramento, California. And he is a storyteller that really gets himself all over Northern California. He lives in Sacramento area. He performs at the Moth regularly on Risk. He has been on Capital Storytelling, and he hosts his own monthly show called the Do Tell Storytelling Show, which is also in Sacramento. He's also just an asshole. No, he's a lovely guy. Please welcome to the stage the one and only John O'Bear!
That's pretty funny. So it's the early 70s, and I'm a complete asshole. I am an obnoxious preteen little brother whose entire goal in life is to terrorize my 2 older sisters. Lynn, 5 years older, and Anne, 4 years older. Now, initially, they are completely taken in by my chubby cheeks and my charisma, but once I become a fully fledged toddler terrorist, they begin to lobby Mom and Dad to accidentally misplace me on a freighter bound for Borneo. They are done with me. Now, my earliest memory of being an asshole is when I'm about 4 or 5 and I'm lying in wait for my sister Lynn at a dark corner in the hallway, and when she'd come by, I would leap out and latch onto her leg like a parasite. It was kind of a rodeo thing for me, and I wanted to see how long I could hold on until she just was done in a puddle of tears. I was very good at this game. With Anne, it was a little bit different. My asshole behavior took the form of a multi-year sustained campaign of psyops. I would follow her and spy on her and mimic her endlessly. And one of my favorite games was to rummage through her room and look for the latest hiding place for her diary. Now, honestly, I do not remember what I read, if anything, but I'm sure there were some choice words about me in that diary. Well, on one occasion, she catches me red-handed, and she is livid, and she's screaming for me to get out of the room, and I just sit there on her bed smiling. And she becomes nearly apoplectic. She looks around and she finds this big coffee mug, and only intending to scare me, she made me promise to say that, she hucks it in my direction, and I reel around and I put my arms up and it hits me square in the elbow. Now, after I get over the trauma of the impact and the pain and the cracking sound and the gushing blood and the 7 stitches, I am filled with beautiful schadenfreude because she's getting in trouble for me being an asshole. This is like the gold standard of winning the sibling rivalry. So fortunately, I mature before their impatience leads to my death. And we end up having a good connection with both of them. Now, Lynn, she moves to the East Coast to pursue a career in the arts, and Anne and I end up staying in Northern California. We see a lot of each other, and we have a good relationship. Now, through junior high, high school, and college, Anne gains a great deal of weight. And by her mid-20s, it's clear that it's taking a huge toll on her emotionally and physically. And as her 30th birthday approaches, she decides she's had enough. She's going to make a change. Enter one of the most unique and quirky television personalities of the 80s and 90s, fitness guru Richard Simmons. Now, if you know, you know, but if you need a refresher, I want you to picture 80s workout video meets a highly caffeinated Liberace. Then I want you to throw in a Labradoodle puppy. It's the early 90s, and Richard is ever present on late night television, laughing, crying, and selling his fitness empire, which consists of Sweating to the Oldies workout videos and Deal-A-Meal, this unique trading card system where you track how much you eat. It's kind of a nutritional Pokemon of sorts. And for the next 18 months, I watch as Anne literally works her ass off. It is an amazing transformation, and one that I feel deserves a unique recognition. And certainly people around her are congratulating her, but I'm thinking, where are the trumpets? Where's the parade? Where's the marching band? So I write his production company and I say, hey, maybe Richard could give her a call, drop her a note of congratulations, and then I hear nothing. And I wait some more and I hear nothing. And then I get a phone call from his production company saying that Richard would like to come and surprise her in her kindergarten classroom. So game on. A few weeks later, Richard makes his way to Ceres, California, where I meet him in the parking lot of Walter White Elementary. Now, I want to be clear, this school is named after a prominent local educator and not the meth-cooking chemistry teacher from Breaking Bad. So he jumps out, and it is the signature beautiful wackiness that maybe many of you have seen. It's same on camera, off camera, he's the real deal. Now, super top secret, only the principal is in on the secret. So we get him together and we hustle over to her classroom, and he walks in and she is floored, stone-faced, speechless, motionless. And he walks over and embraces her and says, "You're amazing." It's a perfect moment. Tears, hugs. But then at some point, the whole kindergarten energy takes hold, and Richard notices that she was reading Clifford the Big Red Dog. So he reads Clifford the Big Red Dog to kids, and then he goes and he finger paints, and then he heads out with them to recess. And I want you to picture super tall, ultra-verbal, caffeinated kindergartner. Hilarious. And eventually he's got to go, so there's more tears, more hugs. And he calls us over and he says, "I'd like to invite you down to come visit me in LA and film an interview." Of course, we're there. A few weeks later, we're flying into LA, where they put us up in a boutique hotel on Rodeo Drive for an extended weekend. And it is amazing, the glitz, the glam. And when we're not having our makeup done, when we're not filming a poolside interview at an amazingly ritzy Beverly Hills estate, we are soaking in the LA vibe and we're scanning for celebrities. In just a couple of days, we see Jay Leno, the Fonz, MacGyver, and exactly one half of the TV motorcycle crime-fighting duo from Chips. We see John, not Punch. And this is an 80s TV jackpot. Now, speaking of TV jackpots, our infomercial was on heavy rotation late night for 6 months. We're basically famous. Now, as if this isn't enough, Richard invites us to a dinner party, along with 12 other folks who've flown in from all over the country for the same purpose, and these are our new friends. And the dinner party is held at Spago, the go-to LA eatery for A-listers, beautiful people, and the filthy rich. And it is amazing. We are starstruck. To say that we stuck out is probably an understatement, but we don't give a crap. We're having the time of our lives. And at one point, somebody says, "Well, where's Richard?" And his production assistant says, "Well, he really doesn't like to arrive right on time because he wants to get everybody an opportunity to eat. He feels that, it makes people kind of self-conscious to have him there." That's very nice of him. So I go back to feeding my face and drinking unlimited drinks. I'm having a great time personally. And then things take a bit of a dark turn. I notice a table of 4 very toned, tanned, young, beautiful people who are nearby and looking in our direction, and they're kind of leaning toward each other and they're whispering and giggling. And I realize that they are laughing at some of the folks in our group who have only just begun their fitness journey. And I become filled with this quiet rage. It takes every ounce of self-restraint I could possibly muster not to stab them in the face with my fork. But I don't do that because I'm a good person and I don't want blood on my shirt. So I compose myself and I see them calling the waiter for another round of drinks, and the waiter sees them, acknowledges them, and walks right toward them, and then just pivots and walks away. It is the most beautiful snub I have ever seen. So I feel a little bit better about how things are going. Well, we go back and we're eating and drinking and having fun, and at our big round table, a whole bunch of us decide we slide around to one side for a photo opportunity, and the waiter is nice enough to do the honors, and we're all smiling and mugging and enjoying our paparazzi moment. And I see it. Holy shit. And I keep smiling, and I lean over to Anne and I say, Anne, the waiter, it's Richard. And she looks at me, she looks at him, looks back at me. Our waiter for the entire time has been Richard Simmons in a mustache, very thick glasses, and a flat toupee. It's beautiful. And one by one, the guests have this realization, and then he just breaks out with this big reveal and his signature wacky energy. And again, it's beautiful. This is an absolutely epic evening and an epic weekend. And if I had been someone who was writing in my diary, I would have written about this amazing time that I shared with my sister. And I'm guessing that she did write about this amazing time we shared together, but I don't know because I'm no longer a diary snooping asshole. But what I do know is when someone has made such an amazing achievement, it's always the right choice to make sure that they get the praise and recognition that they deserve. And it's just not that hard. A letter, a phone call, an email, and it just might be the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving. Love you, sis. Thank you.
John O'Bear, everybody. Amazing. For the record, I had no idea that the story was about what an asshole he is when I introduced him. I was truly just kidding. That's a crazy bit of foreshadowing.
Nice setup.
All right, so keep some underscore music on. I'm going to do some closing things. So, did you